Okay, well, welcome to the virtual college exploration for Illinois students, sponsored by the Illinois Association of College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. We want to thank you all for joining us tonight. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to your presenter at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at IACAC.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, IACAC.org. Now I'd like to just turn it over to our presenter, and then I'll follow up at the end with some concluding remarks.
Great, thank you so much for that. Let me just share my screen here. Perfect. All right, great. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. My name is Bridie Troy, and I am with University College Dublin, which is also called UCD for short. UCD is Ireland's largest and most international university. We are home to over 18,000 undergraduate students, 25% of whom hail from outside of Ireland. UCD is ranked number 1 in Ireland by US News and World Report, and it's in the top 1% of higher education institutions worldwide. We are internationally ranked and accredited, with our degrees well recognized and respected back in the United States. So, UCD is located in the capital of Ireland. This country has been voted one of the greatest student cities in Europe and is truly an amazing place in which to study. Ireland is the only English-speaking member of the European Union, and it really offers a gateway to the rest of Europe for American students. It is routinely voted one of the safest, one of the happiest, and one of the friendliest countries in the world. What I really loved about my time at UCD that you can only get in Ireland is that you can get this English international education at the same time. You can travel all throughout Europe with cheap flights, short travel times. I know when I went there, I spent $20 on a 2-hour flight to Paris, and it was just an amazing weekend that you wouldn't be able to see in any other college experience. So we are located right in the heart of Ireland's capital city, Dublin, offering a unique campus experience with this extraordinary ability to see the world. Located just 20 minutes from the middle of Dublin, UCD students have access to museums, nightlife, and internship and career opportunities right on our doorstep. Dublin has one of the youngest populations in Europe, and this makes it an amazing city in which to attend college, with something always going on. Dublin is also considered the Silicon Valley of Europe, and UCD fosters many connections with companies such as Google, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Pfizer right next to campus. Additionally, we are just a 40-minute bus ride from the Dublin airport, which means that in less than an hour, you can be on your way to virtually anywhere in Europe with cheap flights and short travel times. Located in one of the safest and most welcoming cities in the world, UCD's main campus offers state-of-the-art learning and living facilities near to the bustling city center and Ireland's major business hubs. At UCD, you will live on Europe's largest urban campus, giving you the American campus experience in a multinational European setting. UCD especially fosters a great international support system with a global lounge, on-campus accommodation, and over 160 clubs and societies. Our campus boasts over 350 acres with 8 kilometers of woodland walks. We have a huge student body, an extensive alumni network, and personal touches to give you a small school experience with large university resources. It's a quick welcome video that I think is really prevalent, especially today, so I'd like to play that for you. Oops, sorry. Great. Well, what I really love about that video is that it highlights just the inclusivity and really the globalism that UCD represents. And we'll talk about that a little bit here. Right. So at UCD, we really have excellent campus facilities. It is a great modern campus with a lot of history, so you kind of get the best of both worlds there. It's very similar to a US college campus with all the amenities. We have libraries throughout campus dedicated to different academic disciplines. We offer support services, including student advisors, academic support in our math and writing centers, and student and health counseling services. We are also home to an Olympic-sized swimming pool, a climbing wall, and many other things, including one of the world's largest trampolines right on our campus in our student union. So it's a lot of fun. There's always something going on, and you really get to kind of explore this great college experience with the huge community that UCD has to offer. So I know we talked about in the video and you kind of saw some clips, but at UCD, there are over 160 organizations and sports clubs to join. So there's something for everybody. I always like to say that no matter what quirky hobby you might have, I guarantee there's at least 6 other people on campus with the same hobby who have already started a club about it. So you can really see there's something going on. We even have an American football club. We have a dance club. We have a classics club. There's always something fun going on campus. So the largest society at UCD is the International Society. And this is a club that if you attend UCD, I'm sure you will join because it is so much fun and they put together so much planning that makes it a really great place to make friends from all over the world. This club hosts travel trips around Europe on the weekends. They host Thanksgiving parties because, as we know, it's celebrated in America, but it's not celebrated in Ireland. So it's really nice to have kind of a network of fellow Americans to eat your turkey dinner with. We have Super Bowl events, and because International Club isn't just for Americans, it's from the huge international community at UCD. They host cultural events and experiences for people from around the world. So you're really going to just get exposed to all of these different cultures. So this is one of my favorite things to talk about when discussing UCD is the housing. It is so different than that stereotypical movie, 5 people to a dorm room and bunk beds. No, that's not what you get at UCD. We have on-campus housing for 3,000 students, which means that we guarantee housing for incoming international students. So that would be you. And what I really love about that is that you're in a foreign city, this is your first year at college, and we try to make the transition as easy as possible for you. So you're living on campus. Yes, you're in Dublin, which is this amazing city, but you're also at UCD, which is its own community just a little bit outside Dublin. So when you live on campus, you have a great chance to meet all of your friends. I know when I went there, I met my best friends living on campus. 2 of my roommates were from Ireland. One of them was from Paris, and then one of them was from Greece. So it was really just a United Nations in our hall, and they're some of my best friends to this day. So also in our campus, like I said, it's not like the dorms. Every single student gets their own bedroom, and you share with a couple other students, a couple other roommates, kitchen space and a bathroom. And in many of these residence halls, you'll have a cafe downstairs or a mini gym. Everybody gets a laundry. So it's really, there are so many facilities on campus. And as you can see from these photos, they're incredibly modern. In fact, we were just before the pandemic in the midst of building brand new facilities as well, just to expand our campus and our housing. So by the time you all enter UCD, I'm sure those will be built. And I'm very excited to see what they look like. They're supposed to be incredibly modern and very comfortable. So we do offer 2 different pathways to a degree at UCD. The first pathway is the direct entry pathway, and this is very similar to what most European universities use. And it allows for increased focus on your major with the possibility of skipping general education requirements that would be necessary at a comparable institution. So this is ideal for students who know exactly what they want to study. And because of this, because you don't have to take these general education courses, you can complete your degree in faster time and often will save money, because many of these courses are between 3 to 4 years for a bachelor's degree or 5 years with a combined master's. I always like to say, if you know exactly that you want to go straight into engineering, you come to UCD, we will never make you take an English class ever. Same with the other way. Say you really want to go into English, you will never have to take another math class for the rest of your life, which is just so great if you know exactly what you want to do. If you're like me and you didn't know what you wanted to do on that very first day on campus, don't worry, we got you. We also offer a liberal arts and sciences degree, which is, we set it up very similar to the American model. However, it is very unique for a European institution to offer a liberal arts and sciences pathway. So this would be similar to an American undecided degree, and it offers a great degree of flexibility so that in your first 2 years, you can take courses across several different interests. And then towards the end of your second year, you kind of can choose your favorite, and then that's where you go from there to earn your degree. And it's really great because this is still a 4-year degree. You're not wasting any time, but you still get that flexibility to decide what you want to do with your life. We understand the incredibly difficult position that many students are in with trying to get testing this year. So we are offering a degree of test flexibility for our entry requirements. And this pathway, the liberal arts and sciences pathway, is the most flexible for entry without a standardized test. So UCD offers over 70 undergraduate courses, including a liberal arts and sciences pathway and pre-professional programs in law, medicine, and veterinary medicine. Many of our programs are direct entry programs, offering 3 or 4 year bachelor's or 5-year combined master's. And our professional programs in medicine and veterinary medicine are really unique in that we allow you to work towards your master's and your medical degree at the same time. So if you enter into our medicine program at 18, straight out of high school, within 6 years, you can be a doctor, accredited by the American Medical Association. So the same exact degree that you would get if you went to a medical school in the United States, only because we offer this focused specialization on your major, we don't make you do general education classes, you can become a doctor that much sooner. Same thing with veterinary medicine. We offer a 5-year program where you enter straight out of high school, and within 5 years, you can work on your bachelor's and your veterinary medicine degree, come back to the United States with a degree accredited by the American Veterinary Medicine Association. So it's really an incredible opportunity, and one that if any of you are even thinking about medicine or veterinary medicine, I highly suggest. We also offer an extensive alumni network. So this would be for all degrees. We have a hands-on career center, and we are the #1 college for employability in Ireland. And it's because of this really strong community that we have built up throughout the world. We have alumni on almost every continent. We're still working on getting an alumni from Antarctica, but for now we've got 6 out of 7. And these alumni are really hands-on, and they really love to help current students. Additionally, our faculty works really hard to build connections between their students, their former students, or their professional contacts. And that is why we are so proud of having graduates who immediately upon graduation find a career in a field that they love. So applying is fairly straightforward at UCD. I know some people here applying to an international university and they get a little nervous, like, how do I go about that? It's really easy because as a US citizen, you do not need a visa to study in Ireland. It's a very straightforward immigration process. You just come through customs with your offer letter, and then upon arrival, you will register with the immigration authorities, but you don't need a visa. Additionally, once you're here, you can work for 20 hours a week during school or 40 hours during breaks, like summer and winter break. So it's a very convenient process to move over. When you apply, you're going to confirm your non-EU status. So most of our American applicants apply via the non-EU pathway. And this is basically for anybody who is just American. Sometimes there's a bit of a gray area if you have dual EU citizenship or if your parent is a diplomat, in which case reach out to me and we'll figure out exactly if you should apply as an EU student or as a non-EU student. If you're a non-EU student, like most of our American applicants, you can apply directly at ucd.ie, or we are on the Common App. And what's great about this is that for the one-time application fee, you can apply for up to 4 different degree programs and then decide after you get accepted. We have a very academically focused application review process. And this is something that I really like to emphasize because we are so transparent in our application review. We're not trying to trick anybody. And so we really focus on, especially this year, mostly your unweighted GPA in high school. We're really looking at past academic performance. We do want to see your ACT and SAT scores if possible. Again, like I mentioned, it's very flexible to be able to get into UCA without those scores, but it will help you in some of these more competitive courses that I'll show you on the next slide if you do have those scores. So these can be self-reported, and then as long as you get us the official report by the time you step onto campus, you're good to go. But we understand that some of you might not be able to take a test until spring. So we can evaluate your application and then issue you an offer conditional on a certain score. So the application is officially open, and the priority deadline of December 1st is mainly for scholarships. So we have rolling admission. You can apply even into the summer if you'd like, but that priority deadline of December 1st will really put you in a better position for scholarships. Now, as I mentioned, we're very transparent in our admission requirements. Some of these are a little flexible with the test scores given the current climate, but in general, this is what we're looking for. As you can see, the left 2 columns are much more competitive and require a higher GPA, higher test scores, and some subject specialization courses. On the right, they are a little bit less competitive, but we still would like to see some past academic success. If you cannot get a test, but you're really interested in joining maybe a science program that requires a bit of a higher GPA than you have, but you can't get a test, so you don't know how to augment that, we totally understand. And in that situation, it would really be best to go through the liberal arts and sciences pathway, in which case you can demonstrate your academic ability in your first year at UCD and then transfer into the science program, still graduating within that 4-year time span. Now, of course, maybe one of the most important things that I get asked when people hear studying abroad, they kind of get big money signs above their head and a big worry line in your cheeks, but it's really not that expensive compared to other universities. So UCD costs about as much as an out-of-state American institution. Our courses generally range between 20,000 euro to 30,000 euro. And this would just include tuition and fees. You can see on the right side of the screen, we try to estimate living costs so that you know exactly what you're getting into. Like I said, we're a very transparent university. So based on rent, if you're living on campus, it can be a little bit more expensive, but we also help you find housing off campus if that's what you would like. And so you can figure out your rent from there. It costs about as much as it might to live in any big city in America. You're going to want to budget for your travel, for your food, but it ends up not being that much more expensive than most American universities, and definitely cheaper than many private American universities. So we do offer generous scholarships to over 80% of our international students, and these will be focused on academic merit. These are not need-based. And we offer, the big one is the Global Excellence Scholarship. Now this is highly competitive and it offers between 25 to 100% tuition fee covered. And these are the ones where I was talking about that December 1st priority deadline. So if you're interested in the Global Excellence Scholarship, you should have an offer to attend UCD by the time that you submit your application for the scholarship. So if you apply to UCD by December 1st, we will get you an offer if you're successful by the new year, which gives you plenty of time to submit your application for the Global Excellence Scholarship. Another great scholarship is the Global Scholarship. 2 different things, similar name. And these are awarded at the time of admission decision. So there's not a deadline on these. And you don't even have to apply separately for these. We look at your application materials and we evaluate you as a student. And off of that, we will offer you money at the time that we offer you an acceptance to UCD. So these ones you don't even have to do anything different with, but they're automatically awarded based on academic merit. The global scholarships range between 3 to 10,000 euro. Again, they follow you all 4 years. As long as you keep your GPA up at UCD, you will not lose your scholarship. We do accept US financial aid as well, which can be a huge help. It is a very similar process to an American institution. You can take out private loans, federal loans, and we will help you through this process, just like an American institution might. We accept the GI Bill if one of your parents was in the military, or maybe you have some experience and you have a GI Bill that you can bring with you to college. That's great. One thing that we cannot legally from the Department of Education accept are Pell Grants. So other than Pell Grants, we accept all forms of federal loans, and you can use those for both your tuition and for your living costs. So I am your regional representative. This is all the area that we cover in North America. We are definitely a growing university of popularity in North America. Every single year we get more and more applicants with more and more positive responses. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm at bridget.troy@ucd.ie. And I can help you with any of these, whether you have a question about studying abroad, Ireland, or any of the things that we mentioned. Reach out to me and I can walk you through the application process. So thank you so much all for joining. If you have any questions, please throw them in the question and answer box, and I would love to get to them. Well, thank you so much again for joining. I really appreciate it, and I love to see students that are so excited about joining their future college. So we have a few more housekeeping notes, and then I'll let you all go.
I'm gonna just share my screen. There we go. Thank you, Bridie. Oops. There we go. Finally. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Bridie, for that great presentation about the University of College Dublin. I think I want to go back to college. When you post this window, students, there will be a link for a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this was just one of the many sessions being hosted. And please be sure to sign up for additional sessions at IACAC.org. In about a week, you will be able to find this session's recording, as well as all the other sessions recordings at IACAC.org, so that you can re-review any information that you'd like to see about this or any other of the recordings that you may have participated in. We want to thank you for joining us this evening, and thank you to Bridie for the University of College at Dublin. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry I shortened my